It's the end of an era, the era of my birthday celebration, the time to take down my braids. So let me know in the comment section, does this also happen to you? When it's time to take down braids, I think there's that emotional feeling, we're emotionally affected, that I've come to realize that it is because we have carried our braids for so long, especially if you take it more than 2 months, if you've taken it for up to 3 months. Some people take theirs up to 3 months, 6 months, and we're used to the volume or the illusion of the volume and the length that your extensions give you. And so when we take the braid and the extension off, it just feels like we have lesser hair in quantity, and I think in volume, right? So I've been battling with that. I actually thought I would do this today in the afternoon, but um I've been resisting. So I'm starting by just cutting off the burnt edges. I do not want to, how do you say? I do not want to reduce the length of the extensions because I'm going to wash and use it again. So I want to systematically undo my braids this time around. So I'm just cutting the tips off so that I can do it. I can lose it faster. And this is why I normally love to do twisting than braiding, because they come undone at a very, very fast speed. However, this time I'm doing this because I have tiny, tiny braids. I don't think you can see them, but I started with braids at the bottom so that I could keep the length for longer, the hairstyle for longer. So if you're not subscribed to the channel, you probably don't know that this was the hairstyle I made for my birthday, and that was the first week of April. So I've had this hair for a total of 7 weeks, and I think I'll say 7 weeks and 4 days if we're counting by days. Yeah, so it's almost 2 months, and yeah, this is the longest I can do because it's losing its shine. Really, it's losing its shine, and once the hair begins to lose its shine, I don't like to belabor the hair by washing or keep spraying, because at the end of the day you are just piling, one will just be piling sod or something like that on it. So it doesn't do any good to the hair. It's high time me hair and me hand have some kind of fellowship together. So that is just what I want to do for today. And if I'm not feeling sleepy, I think I'll undo some of them. So yeah, how was your week? Mine was fine. It was a very pretty uh, busy week for me because it's the last week of the month. I normally um, I normally do my monthly errands in the last week of the month before the new month. And yesterday I ran some errands with my friends. So uh, we were invited somewhere for a women's fellowship, And here in Ecuador, they call their women's fellowship uh, Ladies of Dorcas, And I was wondering why they call them Ladies of Dorcas, even though I knew it had something to do with the Bible. And I discovered that Damas de Dorcas, or Sociedad de Dorcas as they are called, is the sisters' fellowship of most Pentecostal churches, including Seventh day Adventists, that takes care of the poor and does charity work in the church and in the community. Here in Ecuador, I have not seen them work in the community. So I'm guessing because it's a developing country, it's a poor country. I think their charity work is restricted to the church body. I want to believe that because I've not seen this thing. Actually, one of the things that I find strange is that I don't know of any charity organization where one can go and donate clothes, like in my neighborhood. Whereas where I came from, there were a lot of Salvation Army shops, orphanages where you could go donate to the poor. But here in Ecuador, they they are sparse. That's what I'm trying to say. They are sparse, and so I don't know if what I learned about Damas de Dorcas, how they operate here in Ecuador, but actually that is what I learned on the internet, that they're supposed to be like a Salvation Army or YMCA, doing charity work in the community. So, but I'm thinking also there are a lot of, you know, political moves and denominational differences that doesn't allow them to go into the society. But mostly I want to believe is due to poverty. So um, we were invited there. Another thing that shocked me was because it was titled Reunión de Damas de Dorcas, I thought it was going to be purely a women's affair. No, but it was more like a convention and everybody was welcomed, young, old, brothers and sisters. So that was another thing. It was my first time attending such a meeting here in Ecuador. It reminded me also of the full gospel businessmen meetings in West Africa. We have full gospel businessmen, you know, and you do see their work present in the community. I think they had a community service when I was a child, close to the school where I did my primary school education. So yeah, that was yesterday. Today, I wanted to work out. I've not worked out for a long time, and I'm afraid like I've barely managed to lose some weight, and trying to restrict calories. But there you have it. We have not worked out this week. Workout was very very poor, and while I feel discouraged, I'm not mad at myself because one thing I told myself is going forward on my weight loss journey, I am going to be the kindest possible I can be to myself, with myself, because I'm not a machine. So I'll push myself as hard as I can. Uh, and when I can't, I'll just sleep. But I've been having some serious pains in my left hip. So it's even hard to sit down. So that is why I'm really worried about doing an exercise. So yeah, that is the end. And then tomorrow I gonna undo them, or probably I should even do a part. Let's see. I think tomorrow I should do a part, and then when I take it off, I will show you guys how I condition it before I start taking down the the main braids at the roots, because these are just twists. So yeah, see you guys tomorrow.